So, hello friends, welcome to lecture series on nonlinear programming. So, we were discussing about search techniques because we know that there are some nonlinear problems which cannot be solved analytically or it is difficult to solve by the analytical approach. So, we go to numerical techniques, we go to some numerical search techniques so that we can solve some nonlinear optimization problems. In the last class, I have discussed that what is order of convergence, what are unimodal function and one search technique, that is dichotomous search technique. Now, in this lecture we will deal with some more such techniques to find out an at least approximate optimal solution of a nonlinear programming problem. Okay. Now, the next search technique is Fibonacci search technique. So, before starting Fibonacci search technique, what is a Fibonacci series? Okay. So, Fibonacci series is basically as we already know, first term is 1, the second term is again 1 and the next term is simply the sum of the previous two terms. So, 1 plus 1 is 2, then 2 plus 1 is 3, then 3 plus 2 is 5, then 5 plus 3 is 8 and so on. That means, in the Fibonacci series the first term is f naught, the second term is f1 which are 1 and the kth term, any kth term is simply the sum of two previous terms, that is simply fk minus 1 plus fk minus 2, where k is greater than or equal to 2. Okay. So, that is how we can define the Fibonacci series or Fibonacci sequence, that is simply you take any term, if it is the sum of the first two terms and the first term and the second term are 1, then such series are called Fibonacci series. Okay. Now, based on this we have a search technique called Fibonacci search technique. Now, what is the algorithm? Let us see. So, let us suppose what we do in search technique, we start with an initial interval of uncertainty which is given to us, say a comma b, and in each iteration we go on reducing the size of the interval of uncertainty such that the next interval of uncertainty which we obtained after performing some experiments will contain the optimal point. Here we are dealing with unimodal minimum functions. So, we can say that we are trying to find interval of uncertainty which contain a point of minima, okay, by reducing the size of the interval of uncertainty. So, let us suppose we start with a comma b which is the initial level of uncertainty. Okay. So, we start with a comma b which is the initial level of uncertainty. Okay. So, what is the length here? What will be the length of this interval? It is b minus a. Okay. Now, we perform two experiments, we fix up two experiments. How we fix two experiments? You see, we have this interval a comma b, a to b. This length is L naught. Okay. This length is L naught. Now, we place two experiment x1 here and x2 here. We find two experiment x1 and x2 such that now x1 is equals to a plus fn minus 2 upon fn into L naught. So, this is how we will find x1, the first experiment, okay, and the second experiment x2 is simply b minus fn minus 2 upon fn into L naught. So, that is how we find the two experiments. Okay. N will be given, number of experiments to be performed, okay, that is given to us. Suppose n is the number of experiments to be performed. So, based on this the first two experiment x1 x2 we will find. Now, from here we can easily say that x1 minus a which is this term, okay, is equals to b minus x2. That is very simple, that is very easy to say, because x1 minus a is same as b minus x2. So, what does it mean? This means that this distance is same as this distance. So, that means we are finding a 2 experiment x1 x2 such that they are placed symmetrically about the endpoints from the endpoints. We are finding 2 experiment x1 x2 such that the 2 experiments are placed symmetrically from the endpoints. Okay. Now, again if we try to solve this thing, so it is equals to what is B? What is B from here? It is L naught plus A, that is A plus L naught minus Fn minus 2 upon Fn into L naught. So, that is equal to A plus, you take L naught common. So, it is Fn minus 2 upon Fn. Okay. That is from the LCM of these two terms. Now, from the Fibonacci series we know that Fn is simply Fn minus 1 plus Fn minus 2 for n greater than equal to 2. Okay. So, what is Fn minus 2? That will be Fn minus 1 from here. So, it is A plus Fn minus 1 upon Fn into L naught. So, we can also say that x1 is this or x2 is A plus Fn minus 1 upon Fn into L naught. Okay. Now, so that is how we will find the 2 experiments. Now, we will see whether fx1 is less or greater than fx2. Next we will find whether fx1 is less than fx2 or fx1 is greater than fx2. So, this will decide that what will be the next interval of uncertainty. Suppose fx1 is fx1 is less than fx2. So, next interval of uncertainty will be fx1 is less than fx2. So, this is A comma x2. Okay. And if fx1 is more than fx2, so next interval of uncertainty will be x1 to b. So, this is how we can find out the next interval of uncertainty. Okay. Now, suppose the next interval of uncertainty is this. Okay. Now, let us suppose the next interval of uncertainty is A comma x2. It is next interval of uncertainty. Okay. If it is x1 if it is closed interval x1 to b, then same process will be followed. Okay. I am discussing here the one for the one interval, the same process will be followed if the interval is x1 to b. Okay. So, now what will be the length? Length is x2 minus a. Okay. And now how we will find the new 2 experiments, the next 2 experiments? Suppose next 2 experiments are x3 and x4. So, now the interval is, now the length is a to x2 and this length is L2. Now, again we find two new experiments, say x3 and x4, such that they are placed symmetrically from the endpoints again. And for x3 is equals to a plus Fn minus 3 upon Fn minus 1 into L2, and it is b minus Fn minus 3 upon Fn minus 1 into L2. Okay, you simply replace n by n minus 1 here and L naught by L2. We will get the next 2 experiments. Okay. Now it is also equal to from this expression, because x2 is equal to this. So, from this expression it is also equals to a plus, you simply replace n by n minus n plus 1 Fn minus 2 upon Fn minus 1 into L2. Okay. Okay. So, this is how we will find the next 2 experiments. Now, the next thing to see here, say now you find say x2 minus x4. So, let us find x2 minus x4. Okay. So, what is x2? Now, x2 is this quantity, okay, and x4 is this quantity. So, when you subtract these two, what we obtain? We obtain Fn, okay, it is in L2, it is in L naught. Okay. So, first we will make the same interval, first we will try to make the same interval. Okay. So, x4 is You can either use this or you can use this. So, it is x2 is Fn minus 1 upon Fn. Now, L naught is now suppose it is L naught minus x4 is it is Fn minus 2 upon Fn minus 1 into L2. Okay. So, it is x4, x2 is, you see from the PPT, x2 is simply x2 and x4 is a plus Fn minus 2 upon Fn minus 1 into L2. Now, x2 minus a is L2, yeah, x2 minus a is L2 and minus this a times L2. So, it is, so you simply take this x2, okay, and x4 you simply replace by this, it is minus a minus this, and x2 minus a from here is L2. So, it is L2 minus Fn minus 2 upon Fn minus 1 into L2. If you take L2 common, so it is Fn minus 1 minus Fn minus 2 upon Fn minus 1. Again, since it is a Fibonacci series, so Fn minus 1 Fn minus 2 is equals to, if you take Fn minus 1, so it is equals to Fn minus 2 plus Fn minus 3, the sum of previous two terms, and from this Fn minus 1 minus Fn minus 2 is Fn minus 3 upon Fn minus 1. So, that is how we obtain this this expression, okay. And from here we can say that x2 minus x4, which is Fn minus 3 upon Fn minus 1 times L2, is same as x3 minus a, because what is x3 minus a? x3 minus a is also Fn minus 3 upon Fn minus 1 into L2, which is same as this expression. So, from here we can say this thing. So, hence we can say that the two experiments are placed symmetrically with respect to the endpoints again. Okay. Now, if we find x2 minus x4, which is this expression, again if you see here x2 minus x4, what we have obtained is equals to Fn minus 3 upon Fn minus 1 into L2 is equals to Fn minus 3 upon Fn minus 1, and what is L2? L2 is x2 minus a. L2 is x2 minus a, okay, and this is this using 1 and 2. Now, what is x2 minus a from here? x2 minus a from here is Fn minus 1 upon Fn into L naught. So, this cancels out and it is Fn minus 3 upon Fn into L naught, and which is Fn minus 3 upon Fn into L naught, and which is equal to x2 minus x1. If you find x2 minus x1 here, x2 minus x1, so a cancels out and it is Fn minus 1 minus Fn minus 2, which is Fn minus 3 upon Fn into L naught. So, it is same as x2 minus x1, okay, because if you find x2 minus x1, so a cancels out, it is Fn minus 1 minus Fn minus 2, which by the Fibonacci series is equals to Fn minus 3 upon Fn into L naught. So, x2 minus, so what we obtain? We obtain that x2 minus x4 is equals to x2 minus x1. So, this implies x4 and x1 coincides. Okay. So, this x4 is nothing but x1 only. Okay. That means in Fibonacci series, in the next iteration, one experiment will coincide with the previous one. So, we have to find only one new experiment, which is x3. Again we will see the value of fx3 and fx4, whether fx3 is greater than fx4 or fx3 is less than fx4, this will decide the next interval of uncertainty and the process repeats. Okay. So, this is the whole method of Fibonacci series. Okay. The same steps continued till required n is obtained or the given measure of effectiveness is achieved. So, let us try to solve one problem based on Fibonacci search technique. So, let us take n equal to 4. Problem is minimizing of x square, minimizing of x square minus 2x, and the initial interval is 0 to 1.5. So, interval is 0 to 1.5. Okay. We have to find two experiments x1 and x2. So, how to find x1 and x2? So, x1 is given by a plus fn minus 2 upon fn into L naught, which is equals to. So, this is a, this is b, and n is 4. So, it is 0 plus f2 by f4, and L naught is 1.5 minus 0, which is 1.5. So, it is and what is f2? Now, if you write for Fibonacci series, it is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5 and so on. So, it is f naught, f1, f2 and so on. So, f2 is 2, it is f3, f4, and f4 is 5, L naught is 1.5. So, it is 0.6. So, this experiment is 0.6. Okay. Now, we know that if you find the two experiments, so two experiments are always placed symmetrically from the endpoints. So, if this distance is 0.6, so this must be 0.6. So, what will be x2? x2 will be 1.5 minus 0.6, which is 0.9. So, this experiment will be 0.9. This is by the Fibonacci search method. As we have already discussed that we have to find the two experiments x1 and x2 such that they are placed symmetrically from the endpoints. If x1 is 0.6, which we obtained here, so what will be x2? x2 will be the same distance. Here it is 0.6, so here it also is 0.6, which is 1.5 minus 0.6, that is 0.9. Now, you find f of 0.6 and f of 0.9. Okay. So, this we have obtained f of 0.6 and f of 0.9, and we have observed that f of x1 is greater than f of x2. So, what will be next interval of uncertainty? Next interval of uncertainty will be x1 to b, okay, because the value of x2 is lesser than the value of fx1. So, next interval will be 0.6 to 1.5. So, next experiment is 0.6 to 1.5 from here to here. So, we are reducing the interval of uncertainty. Now, we know that always in the next interval of uncertainty, one experiment coincides with the initial one. So, which experiment left? The experiment which left here is x2, which is 0.9. So, 0.9 will coincide, because in the Fibonacci search method, if in the next interval of uncertainty one experiment always coincides with the previous one, which is left here. So, the experiment left here, which it will coincide with the new experiment of uncertainty. Now, the two experiments are always placed symmetrical from the endpoints. So, this distance is this distance is okay. So, this will be 0.9. Okay, this will be 0.9. One experiment coincides with the previous one. Okay, so this is 0.3. So, this must be 0.3. So, it is 1.2. Okay. Now, you will find the value of the function of the two experiments. Again you will find f of 0.9 and f of 1.2. Again you will see that whether fx1 is this value is less than this or this value is greater than this. This will decide the next interval of uncertainty, and the same process continues till n equal to 4, till we find the 4 experiments. Here we have find the 3. So, one more iteration is required to complete the problem. Okay. So, in this way we are reducing the size of the interval we are reduce size of the interval such that the point of minima always lies inside the interval. Okay. So, this is Fibonacci search technique. Now, the next method is steepest descent method. Now, what is steepest descent? Now, suppose you have a unconstrained optimization problem which we want to minimize. Okay. So, as we have already discussed that there are two things involved in any search technique. One is the direction in which we should move, and the next other one is optimal step size. Okay. Suppose you start with this initial point x1. Okay. You have an unconstrained optimization problem which you want to minimize, suppose. Okay. You are starting with this initial guess which is x1, and you want to find out the minimum optimal solution of the unconstrained problem. Okay. Now, suppose you start with this initial guess. From this initial guess there are infinite directions in which we can move. So, in which direction we should move so that the value of the function decreases most rapidly. So, that direction is simply negative of gradient of f of f at x1. If in this direction we should, if we move in this direction, as we already know from the calculus that if we move along this direction which is negative of gradient of f at x1, then the rate of decrease of the value of f in this direction decreases more rapidly. Okay. So, out of the infinite direction from the x1 we will move along this direction. Now, up to how much? Okay, suppose this is this direction. Okay. Suppose this is this direction. Up to how much we should move so that we get a new experiment which is x2. So, that is basically the step size, optimal step size. So, that we can obtain by simply minimizing the value of xk plus lambda k tk. Okay, this is this we can obtain. So, this will be more clear by an example. So, we discuss one example. So, it has some very important properties. One is it is globally convergent. Okay. Second is it has order of convergence 1, and it has a descent property. Descent property means in every stage whatever experiment, whatever x we find, this will always decrease the value. This will always give the value less than the previous one, always. So, this has a descent property. Suppose we start with this problem. Let us discuss this problem, so things will be more clear. So, the main concept of this problem is, this method is, we start with the initial guess, say x1. From the infinite direction we will move along the negative gradient of f, which gives in this direction the value of f decreases most rapidly. Find the optimal step size, come to the next interval, come to the next experiment. Again from that experiment we move along negative of gradient of f, find the optimal step size, come to the next iteration, say x3, and again we will find the gradient of f, negative of gradient of f and the optimal size to find out the next experiment, and this process continues till we get the required condition given in the problem, required tolerance limit or whatever. Okay. So, say we have this problem minimizing of f, which is x1 square minus x1 x2 plus x2 square. So, this is the problem, and stopping rule is when we should stop. The stopping rule is given the problem that mod of fxk plus 1 minus fxk should be less than 0.05, that the difference of the two consecutive value of the function must be less than 0.5, must be less than 0.05. Okay. And the initial guess is given to us, it is 1 to 1 comma 0.5, initial guess is this. So, first we find gradient of f. Gradient of f is 2x1 minus x2, del f upon del x1, del f upon del x2. Now, gradient of f at x1, which is which is 2 minus half, and it is minus 1 plus 1, okay. That is nothing but 3 by 2 comma 0, okay. What is a recursive algorithm? It is xk plus 1 is equals to xk plus alpha k dk or sk. Dk is simply d1. Now x2 is x1 plus alpha 1 d1, okay. So what will be d1? d1 is simply negative of gradient of fx1 along this direction. So it is minus 3 by 2 comma 0. So what x2 we obtain from here? x2 is x1 is 1 comma half plus alpha 1, d1 is minus 3 by 2 comma 0, which is equals to 1 minus 3 by 2 alpha 1, and it is 1 by 2. Now to find alpha 1, which is a step size, and what should be the optimal step size, we simply substitute this x2 in this expression and find out the optimal value of alpha 1, for which alpha 1 f is minimum, okay. So what will be f of x2? It is 1 minus 3 by 2 alpha 1 whole square minus 1 minus 3 by 2 alpha 1 into 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 whole square, and simply df upon d alpha 1 should be 0 for maxima and minima of this function, and this gives alpha 1 as alpha 1, where here we are calling as lambda 1, both are same. So here this lambda 1 is 1 by 2 or alpha 1 is 1 by 2, okay. It hardly matters whether here we take lambda 1, or we can also take this as x plus 1 is equals to xk plus lambda k sk. So these are only notations, okay. So this is how we can find lambda 1 or alpha 1, which is half, and the next experiment is 1 by 2 1 by 4 1 by 2, when you substitute lambda 1 in alpha 1 over here, okay. So here we have observed that the difference of the two functional values is not less than 0.05. So we will not stop here, we will perform the next experiment. Again we will form the next experiment, okay. Here it is 1 by 4 1 by 2 plus lambda 2 times d2, which is negative of gradient of f at x2, which is this thing, okay. And again we will find the function value at x3, put it here, x3 put it here, find the optimal size, optimal step length, which is lambda 2, and we obtain lambda 2 equal to half. So next experiment is 1 by 4 1 by 8, and the difference now we have achieved that it is less than 0.05. So we stop here, okay. So this is how we can apply steepest descent method to solve an unconstrained optimization problem, okay. So basically in this method we start with the initial guess, okay, goes to a direction of negative gradient of f, find the optimal size by putting this new experiment in the function and find the minimum, that will give the optimal step size, and the next experiment. The same process continues till we get the tolerance level, okay. So that is all in this lecture. So thank you very much.